Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB, and today we have a very exciting podcast for you on the young prodigy Munir El Haddadi, which is a name that we've heard for the last few weeks during pre-season. It's occurred more and more often. Munir El Haddadi. He's a guy that I am so excited about. If there was one youth player that I was asked to pick out, it would either be him or it would be Alen Halilovic. We've spoken a lot about Alen Halilovic throughout the pre-season campaign. He's been fantastic, and so is this man. Munir has been in absolutely brilliant form. Luis Enrique has trusted him. He's played him in a lot of the games. He's given him a lot of minutes, a lot of opportunities. He's certainly been given more of a role this pre-season than he was last, of course. Of course, he's 1 year older, but I thought Tata Martino last year really did have a reluctance to use the younger players. In La Liga games, we hardly saw any of the youth players used. Adama Traore came on once, but this season, I've got a real feeling that Luis Enrique will opt to use more of the younger players and give youth a chance, which is something we always love to see at Barcelona, when the young players coming out of Barcelona B come into the first team and make a real impact. And I hope we see that this season, and I think with Luis Enrique we definitely will, because he's been down there, he's worked in Barcelona B, he knows the real quality that we've got down there, and certainly he'll look to be using some of that. And one of those players is Munir El Haddadi. If you don't know who he is, then you really should, because he's a young player, just 18 years old. He's 19 in September, so he's coming up to his 19th birthday now. He's about 5'10", 5'11", so he's not the tallest, he's not the strongest player, but technically this guy is an absolute gift. He's got brilliant technical quality, and he suits Barcelona's style perfectly. He does play as a striker, as a number 9. He is a goal scorer. He's certainly one that will get a chance and put it in the back of the net. He can score all types of goals. You know, we saw in pre-season against Helsinki, where he scored 2 goals. His only 2 goals of the season in pre-season, and he scored a headed goal, and he scored a brilliant volley. It was an absolutely exquisite volley, a ball over the top from Iniesta. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it, because it's a brilliant ball over the top, falls to Munir, doesn't take a touch, just whacks it, lashes it in the back of the nets, and that's 1-0. And it was like that in pre-season. You know, Munir had a lot of confidence, a lot of ability. He sort of knew that he had the sort of ability to go out there and show that he was good enough, and he really had the confidence to display that in front of Luis Enrique, and that's why he's been trusted. You know, Luis Enrique has played this 18-year-old in a number of games throughout pre-season, and he's really impressed. And last season he played for the Barcelona B side. He was in the Juvenile A team, and he did actually play last year in the youth final against Benfica, where we won 3-0. And I'm sure you remember, if you haven't seen it, the halfway line goal Munir scored. I mean, I said he can score all types of goals. I'm not sure he'll score one like that again. He whacked it from the halfway line, and it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to watch, and he is a player that really excites you. You always get this player, don't you, that comes along in the youth team, and you think if he goes on and he can fulfil the talent that he has, he can really be an outstanding player. Now, what I don't like is when we got players like this and we really overhype them. I'm not saying right now Munir will go and be the best player in the world. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he's got the potential. He has the ability to go and do that. He's got to have the right attitude. He's got to be nurtured the right way. He's got to be brought on well by Luis Enrique. But if all of those things happen and he's developed in the right way, I really do believe that Munir can go on and be a consistent performer in our first team. Last season, he was brought into the B team. He made 11 appearances throughout the second half of the season, scoring 4 goals. Again, he was very confident. This season, he was promoted full-time to the B team. But it is thought that he will be playing in the A team next season on a number of occasions. The likes of the Copa del Rey matches, we'll see Luis Enrique delve into the youth to play those. And, you know, I think he can use Munir. I think he can really trust in him. And it has been said that with Deulofeu loaned to Sevilla, he will put a lot more faith in the likes of Munir, in Adama Traore. And it does really look very promising for the younger players who have the confidence and the ability to really step forward and take the chance to be playing for the first team. He's made 3 under 19 appearances for the Spanish national side. 3 games. Guess what? 3 goals. This guy does produce goals. What he does, though, is not only the goal scoring, you know, the chance taking. He's a very, very good technical player, like I mentioned, and what he can do as well, he can see a pass, and that is something that Luis Enrique will really appreciate. We saw a lot of criticism go Deulofeu's way because he didn't get his head up, because he didn't see the passes. Munir has looked really, really good in this season, and he's looked really, really unselfish. He's looked for his teammates when he can, he's looked to create chances as well as score them, and it's really good in the Barcelona setup to have a player like that, to have a player who is willing to lay on passes to the opposition. You know, he's willing to get in behind, he's willing to take the chances, and he's not the finished article. Of course he's not. He's still got a long way to go in his development. And I've seen a lot of chances this season by Munir in the pre-season campaign where he's been through on goal and the goalkeeper saved it. You know, he's had one-on-one chances that he's missed. But the great thing is he's getting into those opportunities. He's getting into the areas where you can score goals. And as a striker, that's so important. And Munir has the qualities to go on and become a really, really good player. The bad thing is, we need to use him. We need to use him well, and we need to develop him in the right manner. He needs to feel loved by Barcelona, because we've seen it in the last few years. Youth players who've got the ability, they've got the confidence, but they've not been used by us. We've seen it with Toni Sanrabia, who's gone, of course, now to Roma. He's left, a really bright talent, left. We've seen Thiago Alcantara, of course, didn't get the playing time. He left. Munir El Haddadi last week linked with Bayern Munich. Pep Guardiola, of course, will know him well. He'll know the youth setup. He'll have seen this guy. Apparently Bayern Munich wants him. He was linked with PSG and Bayern Munich and Arsenal again last season. And he has been linked abroad. You know, people do want this guy, and people are seeing him and thinking, if we could get this guy, he's a real promising aspect. But what we can't do is let him go. He signed a contract at the beginning of this year. In about the 3rd of March, he signed a contract saying that he will stay with the club until June 2017. His release clause, as of now, is around 12 million euros. If he does join the first team, that release clause will go up to 35 million euros. So he is tied down to a decent enough deal. If somebody wanted to come and buy him, it would cost 12 million euros, which is a bit scary, really, because quite honestly, I'd pay that right now. If I was Bayern Munich, I'd be knocking on the door. But it's also obviously up to the player whether he wants to leave. And I do get the feeling that Munir feels quite comfortable with Barcelona. You know, he does feel quite comfortable with Luis Enrique. And that's what I mean when I say that Luis Enrique, I think, will play him more. He does seem to like Munir El Haddadi. And I do think he'll use him in the right way. And I hope this season we do see him more often. Because this guy, like I said, I'm not overhyping him. I'm not heaping pressure on him. But I really do believe that we've got a special player here that we need to nurture. We need to look after, we need to put our arm around him and say, look, you know, you're going to be a star, you're going to be in the first team, just wait for your moment, wait for your chance, and when it comes, make sure you take it, because this guy can do big things. I'm really excited about this one. I hope we see him in the Joan Gamper Trophy on Monday. I'm sure we will at some point, because I want to see him out on the pitch more and more often as the season goes on. So that's it for Munir El Haddadi. Comment your thoughts on the young lad below. Like I said, I'm excited about this one, and I hope that you guys are sharing that excitement, because if you're seeing what I'm seeing, we could be looking at a star here. So comment your thoughts below, guys. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. If you are new to this channel, we're all about Barcelona here. Make sure you subscribe. We're closing in on 400 subscribers now. It's brilliant to be a part of it. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next podcast.